I want to kick off by asking you about some of your thoughts, your takeaways from the comments that we heard from the new Saudi energy minister yesterday.
This probably is the biggest news in the oil world, in the energy world this year. Khalid al-Falih is a force of nature, a man of incredible charisma, but very much his own person. I think you're seeing a couple of things here. A continuation. The first meeting that the new minister is going to have is with the Russian minister today in Riyadh. I think that sends a message that OPEC Plus stays, that this deepening Saudi-Russian relationship, that really a strategic relationship,
A historical
will grow deeper.
watershed,
Right.
frankly.
Watershed relationship. But it could grow even deeper yet. The reason for that is Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince, is quite close to Vladimir Putin. He wants this to be closer. And by having his half-brother there, by having someone who's a little bit more of a technocrat, a little bit less of a diplomat, I think you'll see an even tighter relationship of the crown prince, a consolidation of power to a certain extent.
When we think about this sort of separation between church and state, the Aramco offices, the Aramco IPO, separating that from the Ministry of Energy, really trying to it seems as if, dilute the power of the minister. Is that something that had to happen in your view in order for this Aramco IPO really to get to market?
There are so many rumors swirling about Khalid al-Falih's departure and what's behind it, what's not behind it, that you can be dangerously wrong in this field. What's clear of anyone who knows the past is Khalid al-Falih was not a fan of the IPO. And that some in royal quarters felt he was a bit of a foot dragger on it. Anyone looking at the facts around it could understand why that might be the case. This could signal that, yes, indeed, it's coming together. And the separation between church and state as the Crown Prince consolidates his power, I think is predestined to become smaller. This really is more and more the Crown Prince's kingdom, and he will be king in a while, and nothing is more important for power in Saudi Arabia than access to the fossil fuels, access to Aramco, and the ability to move it where you want to, when you want to.
Whoever has the gold makes the rules.
And right, and also the link to the sovereign wealth fund as well, which has always been a domain as well of the family.
I have a question for you regarding what we're seeing right now with the U.S. energy picture. Of course, we're coming up into an election cycle. We have major members that are gunning for the Democratic nomination, saying we're going to put an end to fracking, calling for a major overhaul in terms of climate change policy from Washington. At the same time, you have President Trump really needing to keep oil prices below 70 as he heads into that election cycle. Where do you see that headed?
I think the one thing, if there's one thing OPEC has learned in the last few years, is that they cannot manage frackers in the United States. And so you would think with Venezuela and all its problems, you would think with Iran with its sanctions, you would think with all the problems in the energy world that you'd have prices way up. But it's because of the U.S. Production and the resiliency of U.S. production, much more than we ever thought, that none of that is happening. And I would imagine that Trump is going to get what he wants, which is prices not going that much higher. And I really don't think the Democratic candidates or anyone else at this point is going to ratchet back.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.